So we're starting to see more of these decentralized autonomous organizations pop up. It seems like a buzzword, but maybe it really is the future of how organizations will be structured. Having the ability for a community, a group of people to own the company and how it runs, how it operates, and having that decentralized governance of a company or organization all running through a DAO seems quite appealing, and blockchain has made this all possible. Now, in the Cardano ecosystem, since we only had smart contracts recently back in September of 2021, we're still playing catch up in regards to a lot of the tooling and mechanisms and smart contracts to make DAOs possible on the Cardano blockchain. But this team here, Logan and Justin, join me from Clarity Protocol, and they're talking about all the tooling and the one-click shop, one-click shop, one click, and you suddenly have a whole DAO ecosystem built up around your project. And that is really appealing, especially for people that don't know any code whatsoever. So I do have their website here. So we'll just have a quick look at what they're putting together. And this is what they have so far with Clarity DAO and what they're trying to achieve. So it's a one-stop shop for all your DAO needs. One click and you have it all set up. That is the ideal situation where they're going to be, and they're going through the process of actually building this out. They have a whole bunch of Catalyst proposals at the moment as well. So if you're interested in supporting this project, then please check out their proposals. All the links are down below for you in the show notes, where you can find out a little bit more about what they're building and the funding that they require to build out these tools. I'd just like to highlight the Clarity DAO Incubator, which is incubator to build up other projects that are wanting to run as a DAO. So that's really important. And also this one here around their DAO infrastructure, which helps build out all the things that you need to actually have a DAO itself. So those are probably two really important proposals that you should check out. All the links down below for you in their link tree, where you can find out more about the project and everything else around it. Now, let's get into this interview with Logan and Justin. They talk all about the project, their background, their experiences, and what they're trying to build out as well. Now, I did record this a couple of months ago, so it's a little bit old, but hopefully you guys will catch up on this and find out and learn a little bit more about the project. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.
I have Logan and Justin joining me on this episode from Clarity Protocol, a pretty interesting project, and I think something really useful that the entire Cardano community could really use. It's all around DAOs and the DAO tooling as well. So, gentlemen, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So let's get into a little bit about your crypto journeys first and how you got here and now in the Cardano ecosystem. So Logan, how about you start first?
Yeah, sure. My crypto journey is a very interesting one, I'd say. I think I didn't get into it, in the bull run in 2017, like a lot of people say they did, or before that. I was a little after that, actually. So I was in class and I ended up doing a report on how blockchain could disrupt the sports industry. And I was looking at smart contracts, automating payments, and then really started to dig into the utility of the technology. And I was like, holy moly, this technology can disrupt the whole world if it's done right. So I started to do research, watch the whiteboard talk from Charles, and about that time, I think it's about a year and a half ago, I've been in the Cardano ecosystem. And I'm just a big believer in kind of the world moving towards decentralization to make a more fair global financial infrastructure and identity system. So that's my journey. I pretty much did a research project on the blockchain, realized, holy moly, that this is going to disrupt everything eventually. And I went from there. And now I'm working on the Clarity Protocol.
It's a pretty cool, light bulb moment to have, and going through your studies and stuff, and having that there is pretty cool. Now, I have to admit, I still haven't watched that whiteboard video yet. It's everyone that I get on the podcast tells me, oh yeah, we watched the whiteboard video and then the light bulb clicked and everything I was sold from there. I still haven't watched it. I feel really bad.
You got to do it. You got to do it. It's crazy.
I do. Justin, what about yourself?
Yeah, for me, I did get a little involved back in 2017. So just bought a little bit, just as a casual investor, nothing really big. Kind of kept up with it, but nothing too crazy while I was finishing up college. And then senior year of college, I went back home and I was visiting my family. And Logan was there. We grew up together. So Logan was right in the middle of his story that he just told, where he was understanding smart contracts and understanding, how this technology could really change the world. And we were sitting in my basement, and Logan gave me pretty much the pitch on how smart contracts are kind of the future. And I was pretty much sold in that moment. So yeah, we really started to do some research, and I think the verifiable code that Cardano brings is what really attracted us, especially in the beginning, to really focus on building on Cardano. But yeah, over the last year and a half, we've really taken that dive deep into Cardano and been hanging out with people in the community and trying to grow our own little ecosystem here.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that we both drank the blockchain and Cardano Kool-Aid so much that we quit our full-time jobs to pursue this, because we think it has so much potential and it'll make the world a better place.
Whoa, you're going full-time, quit the full-time job. That's dedication for sure. Are you guys both developers? Like, what's your technical backgrounds there?
So my background is in computer science. That's why Logan kind of initially pitched the idea to me, was to bring kind of a tech guy on. So yeah, I studied computer science at the University of Kansas and graduated last year with that. So that's kind of allowed me to, get an understanding of Plutus. I took the first iteration of the Plutus Pioneers program when they first started offering that as I was finishing up school. And really that's allowed us to, have these conversations with some of the best developers out there in MLab. So that was able to bridge that gap by having that kind of base technical knowledge. And I think that's a good place to go with that.
Pretty interesting.
And then I'm not a technical guy, but I will say one thing is I respect the hell out of technical people, because I've taken a few computer science classes. I see how difficult it is and how much of a different way of thinking it is. And I would say I'm a huge believer in the technology and decentralization and in this world that we're trying to create. And I'm more of kind of a community facing person. So no technical background for me.
Well, there's two huge aspects. There's that human factor. So, having both of you guys, Logan taking care of the human factor and then Justin taking care of the technical aspects for it. So you can actually humanize the technology. And now what you're doing with DAOs, Decentralized Autonomous Organizations, is actually automating a company structure or automating business structures. Can we first talk about what DAOs are so that everyone on this podcast can actually understand what it is and what you guys are trying to do with what you're building out?
It's you can talk about DAOs in a bunch of different ways. So I'll just go with kind of a definition that we like to use is, a DAO is an organization with a shared treasury or a shared bank account. And the difference is that this bank account or this treasury is collectively owned and managed by its members in a fair and transparent way. What we're building is because we believe in the potential of DAOs. So DAOs are this new type of organization that exists because of the emergence of blockchain technology. And, as we start to see these cracks in centralized infrastructure, whether it's, big social media companies or governments, we're seeing this trend towards decentralization, and we think this will continue, and we think DAOs will be at the heart of the movement towards decentralization. Like, it's no secret, like even my grandma knows, and she's kind of sketched out about what Facebook is doing with their data and what they have. And, it's not in a decentralized system. So we think there really will be this trend of decentralization that will continue, and DAOs will be at the forefront of this. So in the future, what we see is that there will be centralized companies and decentralized companies. And these decentralized companies will always have a competitive advantage because they can offer certain things to the end user. So we want to make this new and technology, this new concept of DAOs really easy for everyone and just lower the barrier to entry so that anyone is able to create, manage, and participate in these new types of organizations.
Absolutely amazing. So what are you guys actually building out for the ecosystem so people can tap into creating a DAO or managing a DAO in general?
Yeah, so really what we're doing is we're allowing people to do really basic on-chain DAO operations. So that includes setting up and creating a DAO, setting the initial parameters. So things like, what percent of the vote needs to pass for a vote to consider or passed in this DAO, things like that. So we can handle all of that, set up the DAO for you, set up a treasury for you, and then allow on-chain governance. So this includes creating proposals, voting on proposals, and then executing those proposals, and then also treasury management. So this includes, with those proposals, maybe voting on spending money, and then all of that would be script managed. So there's no, human intermediary in our system. It's all based completely on Plutus scripts. So as soon as proposals are passing, it's executing on-chain Plutus scripts. With all that being said, I think really the most important thing that we're bringing is an easy to use interface to all of this. So we're really trying to make this feel natural and intuitive. Right now, some of this stuff does exist on Cardano, but it's not very easy to interact with. So unless you understand the CLI and all that, which I don't think the average user does on Cardano. So we're trying to make it so that everybody is able to, actually participate in on-chain DAOs, have their voice heard, and, decide the direction of the protocols that they care about.
This is pretty interesting. Like, I'm trying to envisage the user experience that you're building out because, we can't see anything or play with anything at the moment, so it's a little bit hard to demonstrate. So with some of the on-chain stuff that we're seeing at the moment, like Vi Finance is one that's built a little proposal system where users can basically go to a proposal, click yes or no for a particular proposal. And then you're saying that you can automate that entire process and have it all on chain. So all the scripts are executing through the Plutus side of things and all on the Cardano blockchain itself. So people can see exactly what's going on, all the votes and whatnot. Is that it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So basically we have these on-chain functions that are happening. We have, these templates of smart contracts that are ready to go to kind of represent all of these on-chain functions. So as you're kind of creating a new proposal, you'll fill out kind of a basic online form, and that'll kind of customize that instance of that smart contract to your use case, whatever your proposal is. So an example of this would be, maybe I want to pay, this specific wallet address. Maybe I want to pay Logan's specific wallet address, 100 ADA. If this passes, we basically will have the smart contracts in place that we have a templatized contract for sending ADA from a treasury in one of these DAOs to a wallet address. So we plug and play with, basically what you fill out on that online form, create a custom instance of that smart contract for, you specifically sending the money, from the treasury to Logan. And then in the event that passes, that smart contract automatically gets deployed. So there's really no human interaction in there.
Wow. Okay. Programmable smart contracts. All from an interface. A user can come along, choose their parameters, create the smart contract, and to have it voted on and executed based on the voting rights. That's awesome. pretty basic and really straightforward, but it like you said, completely takes out the middleman in general. Amazing, guys.
And we're really seeing that, just being able to take away the middleman is really what the DAO is all about. And that's, at the end of the day, that is the mechanism that's pushing power out to the edges and pushing it to the everyday user is not having that, centralized aspect of the DAO.
Yeah. Okay. There are so many applications for this. It's absolutely amazing. There's just one in general, like here in Australia, in Queensland, I live in an apartment, and the apartments have what's called here a body corporate. So the committee in the building will decide on particular things. They'll put out a vote. You have to do like an annual general meeting. I'm sure you guys have that over there in the States as well. But there've been decisions that have been overruled by the committee, even though the entire building has voted for something else. And how does that work? How is that democratizing the ownership of the building? And something having something like this, a DAO, and then like the smart contract pays the contractor straight away for the initial deposit of the works. That's brilliant. It's the committee is no longer needed. We won't have any of this political arguments in there. We just have someone managing the votes, someone scripting everything, and then hey presto, we have a DAO building body corporate. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome. Go ahead, Logan.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think when you think about DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, I think the autonomous part is really what we're trying to refine with that type of structure in terms of the vote passing, the consequence of the vote happening without a middleman having to take action.
Or overruling the action, which is just so not right. So not right. All right. So you guys are building this out. Who's on the team? So we've got you two at the moment. Is there other people on the team, and who you're working with?
Yeah. So it's Justin and I, and then we're partnered with MLabs to build out this protocol. So really what happened is we were in Catalyst. We had a proposal to build, a DAO smart contract library. MLabs also had a proposal that was very similar. And like the ethos in the Cardano ecosystem often happens, is they valued collaboration over competition, and we joined forces with them. They bring great technical expertise, and we bring our own set of skills. So we're working with them and have some talented developers from there, and working on building the protocol. And then with the Catalyst funding we actually are just now hiring our first intern. His name is Kevin. He's a talented developer from USC. So we're excited about that. But that's most of the team at this point. Justin, I don't know if there's anything you want to add.
Yeah, we're super excited to be able to finally bring on an intern with some of the money that we got from Catalyst. And we're hoping that, that can be the start to, creating a sustainable way of getting developers on the team for the future to come.
Congratulations on getting the funding through Project Catalyst. Which fund was it? Fund 7?
Yeah, Fund 7. So we have some fun proposals out in Fund 8 to kind of extend the Clarity protocol, which we can maybe get into a little later. But yeah, waiting to hear back on those, but coasting off of Fund 7 right now.
Yeah, by the time this podcast episode comes out, hopefully those results will come out, and I can do a little recap and at the end of it and say how successful you guys were. But yeah, it's getting through and getting the funding in Fund 7 alone is a pretty cool feat. There's so much competition now, so having the votes from the community shows that you're onto something good, and the community actually wants what you're building out. So that's absolutely awesome. Now, having that partnership and that collaboration with MLabs instead of competing with MLabs is absolutely brilliant as well.
I think like Logan touched on, we've really seen this big ethos in the Cardano community of collaboration over competition, and really it does make sense. We're really trying to create the best DAO tooling protocol possible. So it really just made sense at the end of the day for us to, combine forces in that sense. And I think that, we're able to bring kind of this community building aspect to the table. And obviously everybody knows how great MLabs is. So we think it's going to be a really good partnership.
Absolutely brilliant. So what's the roadmap look like for you guys? Like when can I program my first DAO contract and start a treasury and all that?
Yeah, so roadmap right now is we're really in a development and community building stage. And one of the proposals we had in Fund 8 was to run a DAO incubator. So this is to take communities in the Cardano ecosystem that want to become on-chain DAOs, to create a tight feedback loop with them and partner with them so that as our on-chain tooling comes out, we're able to make sure we're building things that will actually be useful to the ecosystem and to the community. So we have one partnership with Goki right now. They are a project on Cardano working on real estate projects, and they're interested in making kind of a real estate DAO. So that's one partnership, but we're looking to partner with about 9 projects in this incubator. And then when you can make your DAO, we're looking at a timeline of 6 to 8 months for the launch of our product. So that's when we will release the first version, which will provide the bottom building blocks of DAO infrastructure, including treasury management, proposals, on-chain governance, and DAO creation. So we're super excited about it. But yeah, right now we're in a get the word out, build a community, find people who believe in DAOs, and keeping the ball rolling while we develop this technology that we believe in so much.
There's definitely a lot of people interested in it. Like every day I see more and more projects popping up and saying, oh yeah, we're starting a DAO, and some really, really well organized ones as well, like, with weekly meetings and everything to get the ball rolling and have these communities really driven by a DAO. So it's brilliant, and you can see it having a lot of impact what you guys are building. So that's definitely an awesome thing to see. So 9 to 9 months, we'll see something tangible, roughly, maybe
6 to 8 is
6 to 8. Okay, 6 to 8. Okay, awesome. So, are you guys relying on anything for the in regards to the PAB or anything, the Vasil Hardfork, to actually have this working properly?
So right now, we will have the capabilities to bring our product to market. So M Labs actually has a workaround for the PAB issues that we're seeing. They've built a solution on top of Ogmios. So we are able to, bring our product fully to market. As far as the Vasil Hardfork features, I think that it could help with, scaling and improving the performance. But as far as, being able to have the core set of features that we're planning on offering, we're confident that with where Cardano is, we can bring it to market.
You mentioned Ogmios. So I've seen that thrown around a little bit, but I have absolutely no idea what it is. Can you explain a little bit about what it is?
Yeah, from what I understand, it's a way for it's basically an API that allows people to talk directly with the Cardano blockchain, but you're gonna have to talk to the M Labs guys to get a real good description of that, because they're the ones that are really in there. But yeah, I know that they have some apps that are utilizing that in production right now, and things are going well.
So in terms of future funding, you said that you guys are in Fund 8, and fingers crossed that comes through. Are there other ways that you are getting funding for this to actually make it all happen?
So right now we're completely Catalyst funded, and we're having conversations with different angels, trying to find early stage investors that believe in what we're doing. And that's how we're planning to fund it. Find people that believe in us and try to get some investment checks from them. But we are leaning on Catalyst right now. We hope Fund 8 goes well. But no matter what, we'll continue on this journey to build these tools, because we believe in it so much, and we think so many people in the community and throughout the world can utilize this technology.
I'm sure if you tag Charles in a couple of Twitter posts, he might might throw a little bit of ADA your way, but who knows? He loves his DAOs, so he's always on about them. So maybe you can throw something your way. Perhaps we'll put a tweet out for him and see if we get a reaction.
That would be awesome.
Okay, so when I was going through your white paper and trying to understand the protocol and all that, there was mention of a token within there and a reward system and all sorts of mechanisms around it. I try to go through the diagram to try and understand the flow, but it's probably better just getting it from you guys and getting an explanation of what you guys are trying to do around that.
Essentially, we're building a protocol, and this protocol is going to collect fees. At first, just to get off the ground, we'll do this per smart contract interaction. A small fee just added to the Cardano network fee, and that will feed the protocol. I'll explain how we split up the fees in a second. But we really do want to move away from the fee model and make all the bottom building blocks of DAO tooling free. And then we'll kind of transition to a revenue model through treasury optimization and DeFi integrations for the DAOs that utilize our protocol. So when we collect fees with the Clarity protocol collects fees, it gets split between 3 different buckets. So the first bucket is the Clarity rewards pool. So if you are holding and staking Clarity, you can stake it to be part of this rewards distribution. And then the other bucket is the Clarity treasury. So this is the protocol's bank account, is how staff will be paid. And then if you also hold the token, you'll be able to participate in the governance and influence the direction of the protocol with the money that hits the Clarity treasury. We might vote on, what smart contract should we build out next? What features do you want to add? Maybe we want a chat room for the DAOs included in the interface, or a video meeting thing, a new temperature check system. I don't know what it may be, whatever the community wants. We want this to be a community-driven interface, community-driven protocol. So if you hold the Clarity token, you're able to influence the direction of the protocol. And then the last bucket is the one that I'm personally most excited about, because it's the developer of the smart contract. So at first, this will be us, and we'll have that fee model, but we'll move away from that, make the bottom building blocks free. But we want to encourage, innovators in the Cardano ecosystem that are building DAO innovations. They might build a new type of voting smart contract that's useful to them, but also useful to these other DAOs using Clarity protocol. So we want to financially incentivize collaboration and really make this a protocol that keeps evolving and building by community contribution. So that's kind of how the distribution and incentive process works. And we're always happy for feedback on that. I think, we like how it's designed, but we know that, there might be things we haven't thought about, and always happy for feedback.
Now, you mentioned the collaboration aspect of this, and so you said like someone else that makes a contract, and someone else in the community can use it. Does that mean this a part of this is open source, or how are you working through that kind of mechanism?
Yeah, so we really want all the on-chain code that we're writing to be open source, just because we want people to know, what it is that we're using. The smart contracts that we're initially, building are extending Agora's already existing, smart contract library that they have for, governance in Cardano.
Agora, what's that? I haven't heard of that.
So Agora is a governance module that is being built out by Liquid Labs, and it's something that we think can serve as the standard for giving governance to different DAOs on Cardano. So we're building on top of that. I know a lot of other projects are looking into it and seeing if it fits their use cases as well. But it's already an open source, or I don't know if it's open source right now, but it will be governance module for the Cardano ecosystem. Wow, there's actually a lot happening, and I seem to be missing out on all this information. Good thing you guys are here to fill me in. That's absolutely amazing. So, awesome that it's going to be open source, so anyone can go through the code and use it themselves. And you're building on that Agora module already, so that's more community collaboration. So, absolutely amazing. That's really cool.
And you already have like a whole bunch of templates that'll be out of the box, which is great. So when you launch, you have the baseline template. So that's absolutely amazing. It sounds like you guys are really onto something really cool here. And I absolutely love the idea. I had no idea you guys were building it out.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, we really do believe in what we're doing. And like I said at the start, we're doing this because, we see the cracks in the current world and centralized infrastructure. And we think DAOs will bring about a lot of good to the world. And we believe in this new concept, this new technology so much. And our main goal is to lower the barrier to entry so that anyone can use it. We want to make a platform where you have an idea for a DAO, or you have a community that you want to turn into a DAO, you're able to do it. And then after you do that, you're able to govern it how you want to and set your governance rules, set, what percentage of the vote needs to pass, what participation rate do you have to have for a vote to be considered legitimate, set your rules and then set them and then change them. We want to make it that type of system where, we can stack these smart contracts on top of each other. As features come out, these DAOs can adopt it. And, just as time goes on, we think DAOs will become more and more prominent in the world because they are better than centralized systems. And we believe in that notion. So yeah, we love what we're building too. I think it makes it easy to get out of bed every day. And we're going to keep going.
All right. So how do people participate in your DAO, and how do we get on? How do we get your tokens and stuff so we can vote on what smart contracts are being built? Like, are you at that stage yet, or it's still very, very early stages?
It's early stages. I think we launched our Twitter and our Discord about a week ago.
Okay, really early.
Yeah, so we're early. I think the Discord has like 35 people in it. The Twitter is slowly getting followers. As more and more people know what we're building out. So yeah, I would say the best way to keep up is join the Discord. We'll have developer updates weekly in there. There's a DAO think tank in there, so you have an idea for a DAO, you can put it in there and get the community's feedback on it. Maybe some people will like it and join your team. Make introductions. I know there's a few different cool people in there, a bunch of different cool people in there already. And then the Twitter, we'll be beefing up kind of the content creation as we get a better plan here of that. But that's one thing we're working on is managing those two socials accounts closely. So those are two good places to touch base and interact with the Clarity community.
Now, do you have any other partnerships that you can mention? That I know you mentioned GoKey, and I've got an interview with them actually tomorrow to talk about their project. Any other ones that are in the pipeline that you can mention?
So as far as the other DAOs that we're hoping to partner with, like Logan mentioned, we are hoping to launch a Clarity DAO incubator in the next couple months while we're building out the DAO tooling and bringing that on-chain infrastructure. So really, we're looking for people right now who want to partner and have a peek into what it is that we're building and have a say in kind of the direction that this really early protocol goes. So if anybody is creating a DAO or has an idea for a DAO, we have an application that's open on our website. So definitely feel free to shoot your idea out there, and we'd love to see if there's a potential to partner.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and then
brilliant.
Yep. There's no other partnerships in the pipeline right now, but we really do value collaboration. And we think that's what's going to push this ecosystem forward. And, whether you have ideas for smart contracts for DAOs, whether you want to make a DAO, whether you want to join the community and contribute in some way, there's all sorts of partnerships that we're open to. And we just love to talk to people in the community, because what I've come to find is if you're in the Cardano community, you believe in the long-term vision of blockchain. And we all kind of have this same sentiment of, it's going to be this global financial operating system and identity system that makes it a more transparent and trustworthy world, and everyone has access to it. So, we just love to talk to people in the community. We're always open for conversations. Join our Discord. We can get in touch, and let's start some cool conversations.
Brilliant. I usually end off these interviews with asking what you guys think of what the future of Cardano will be, but I don't think I need to. It's pretty clear and obvious. It's pretty clear and obvious there. So I won't ask that. But anyone that wants to join you guys and follow, I'll put all the links below in the video descriptions that people can find. Apply if you're a DAO as well, which is absolutely brilliant. And join your community, join that incubator that you're talking about, and be a part of this new smart contract DAO ecosystem that you're building out. So absolutely brilliant, guys. Love what you're building. Love the vision. Love your passion behind it as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Now, like I said, all the links in the show notes for you. You can get to them at learncardano.io/EP51. There you can find everything that you need to know about all these proposals that the team are working on at the moment, as well as how to potentially get into that incubator. And if you have a project that you want to be a part of this incubator system and get handheld through the process of setting up a DAO, they'll do it for you as well. They've got the experience and the technical team to get this all done for you as well. So fingers crossed that they do get funded. A lot of projects do need this kind of support. All right. Now, if you really enjoyed this podcast episode, please consider giving me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.